Live from the City of Angels here on this Thursday night. It's our MMT box office preview. We are back after a few Thursdays off because we have a big film opening in the marketplace. It's Wonka. This is going to be an interesting release because, as you know, we're coming up on the Christmas corridor, which means everyone's off and films do insane business like every day during the week because of everybody on vacation. So this is going to be a strange box office weekend. We look at Wonka, how's it open, and then what are the legs for this film? All of that to come here tonight, along with Rebel Moon. Is Netflix ever going to get serious about theatrical? Ever. It's going to happen. I'm not talking about a couple theaters in LA and New York. I'm talking about across the country so you can see them everywhere, like Beverly Hills Cop 4. We're going to watch that trailer. I have not watched it until tonight. I'm going to watch it live. You guys will watch along with me. We'll beat the copyright embargo, and we will not be taken down, and we can watch it. But I got to talk about Wonka right now because I came out of the film. And the big question I have for you tonight, this is your time to comment. A ton of comments from you tonight because this is my reaction as I suffered through this film that's a little over 2 hours long. I love Paul King. Okay, you guys know. If you do not know, let me explain to you that I was Paddington's biggest fan well before Mr. Film Twitter King of the Universe, along with Sean Fennessy. What's the dude from, IndieWire? That guy. Paddington. I was on Paddington 2 before that guy even knew the film existed. So don't tell me about Paul King. I'm very aware of what that man brings creatively, directorially to the screen. But here's the problem as we talk about this film. It's the big topic tonight. After sitting through this thing, we have to have an uncomfortable conversation. Is Timothée Chalamet a movie star? Think about it before you answer. Think about his roles. Think about what he brings to the table or does not bring to the table. As I let you stew on that, here are my thoughts on Wonka here tonight. First of all, I just mentioned how much I love Paul King. You're talking about visually a filmmaker that is one of the best. When you look at either of the Paddington films, they are classic films, okay? And almost all of that has to do with the direction and the sense visually, the fantasy that man brings to reality, and the joyous nature of his filmmaking. I mean, there's no denying with both the Paddington films, you really see this man is at the top of the ladder. There's nobody really better than him. So that's right? You have the right person for the film. The screenplay here is okay. It's not anything that is going to win an award or even anything remotely as good as a Paddington. The problem with the film is that it is a film that is supposedly magical, as Willy Wonka is, but it's missing the magic. And here is why. It's not Paul King. It's exactly what I referred to moments ago. It's Timothée Chalamet. Timothée Chalamet is not Gene Wilder. Timothée Chalamet is not Johnny Depp. He does not have that natural, eccentric nature to himself. He does not possess it. So when you do not possess a certain gene, you are forced to play a role that everybody can see you do not have the talent to offer. And when that happens, you can't miss it, man. When you guys come on here in MMT, people come after me for date. What's the one thing nobody ever comes after me for, ever? Because they can't. That guy's authentic as hell. It's natural. It is what it is. It's what I am. So when we talk about a natural talent for something, Timothée Chalamet is not a comedian. He is not a weirdo like Johnny Depp. And when you are in a role like Wonka, you must have that gene, that trait that he does not. So you suffer through this film and you look like I do there in my seat, completely bored. Because the magic's not there, because the man who is dependent on delivering that part of the film to you, which is the entire film, is missing. The piece is missing. And if that piece is missing, the whole thing is going to be off. And that is why tonight I have an MMT score of 70% on this film. It is a C-. It is not a terrible film, nor is it anything remotely something I would recommend that you head to a movie theater to see. This is as low as I go for the possibly watch. But I really want to drill down on this tonight. Is Timothée Chalamet a movie star? I laid out my thoughts. I think it's very accurate. I think it's very fair. Two things you're always going to get here on MMT. Both of those things absolutely profuse coming through this microphone every single time we do one of these lives. Let's go to comments. And then I do want to say this. I noticed there's some super chats. Love. Okay. You don't even know, of course. I'm super stoked to get to those. But I have to go in order of what we have. So we're going to talk with Timothée Chalamet. We're going to get to Rebel Moon, which I know the Zack Snyder fans, you guys already are like, wherever you are on this, we'll talk about it. And then we're going to talk about Beverly Hills Cop and Netflix and the mess that is that studio. Let's get to Timothée Chalamet. I can't wait to hear Chalamet sing live at the Oscars. This is a musical. I mean, there's so many songs in this, and that's the other issue here is, remember, we talked about the screenplay's not great. It's not terrible, just like the songs. It is just riding the mid. There's maybe one song, It's My Chocolate, something about that. Something, It's My Magical Chocolate. Whatever. Don't remember. So it's not that good. But the songs just are not memorable. And when you have Chalamet, you know what's weird about Chalamet? You guys really need to pay attention to these things. This is what I try to do. If I can get one thing through to you when you watch these streams, it is to be a very observant movie watcher. When you're watching, you're not just sitting there letting it wash over you. You're going, wait a second, let me really pull this apart. We talk about it all the time, the magic eye, right? Looking at the book, and all of a sudden you see it all go. Here it is. I now see all of the dimensions, and I can look around. Your eyes adjust to it. That's what you're doing here when you go to evaluate a film. You're not just looking at this, that, or the other. You're looking at individual aspects like King's direction. You know that's going to be there, but you see it again. You see a lot of the same artistic flourishes that you saw in Paddington 2. Things like the book, right? Remember the Paddington 2 book? What a brilliant thing that was at the end of the film, just the way that he incorporates that into the actual movie. And the same things happen here when Willy Wonka goes back and remembers his mother when he was a child, the same way that we go back in with Paddington and his mother's relationship, his grandmother, right? Because you have that same style, and you can see the directorial imprint of Paul King when you watch the film. But again, when you watch Chalamet, you have this situation where you watch him and he just isn't the guy. He's not the guy. I don't know how to put this other than to say, often we talk about the NFL draft. We talk about breaking down prospects and saying what they're good at, what they're weak at, and here's where they end up as a draft pick. Timothée Chalamet is the Ryan Leaf of actors. He's a guy that is way too overvalued. And he got to the league, and he's just marginal, and then, of course, flamed out. He's not Peyton Manning. He's Ryan Leaf. That is who Timothée Chalamet is, and that's just the reality of it. He's a nice guy. I met him at the Critics' Choice Awards a few years ago. The nicest kid, full of energy. But the weird thing is, the kid that you meet in person is, like, booming and just absolutely full of life, and then you get him in these movies and he just tightens up. It's like when you watch The Rock. Go back and watch The Rock early on in his career. When he's not playing The Rock, the wrestler, he clams up. He's not loose. He's not doing the grabbing the mic and going, everybody, listen up. He's going, he's tight. He's stiff. Apologies, I didn't do the whole Rock thing right. But whatever, you know what I'm saying. This is why so many YouTubers record their shit, because they have to rehearse it. They have to go over the lines and do the editing. I was just watching this awards guy who's just so boring. I'm not going to call him out because I said I'm not going to do that as much as I'm going to do my best not to do it. He's boring. And I'm like, and he can't do it live because this is not easy, okay? But the point is that Chalamet has to be able to do all of these things because he's the star of a motion picture. You got to be able to do this, and whoever cast him here made a mistake, okay? And he doesn't deliver. But the casting That was wrong, and the film suffers so much for this decision to put Timothy Chalamet as Willy Wonka. Timothy has no personality, no charm. I can feel his performances are flat and one note, and Wonka's supposed to be wild and eccentric. Exactly. It's faux eccentricity. And that is going to ring really false, right? When you're sitting there watching, you're just like, ugh, cringe. And I don't even think he even tries to go eccentric. There's times that it's almost like I could imagine Paul King on set. We talk about this all the time, like in Director's Village, watching, going, oh, fuck, I am so screwed right now. So you got to go up and go, listen, can we get you to amp up, but not too much? We want you like we talk about all the time, modulate from like right now you're like at a 6. Can I get you to an 8.5, 9, not an 11, but like a 9? He doesn't even know where to modulate that. And, look at Mark Ruffalo in Poor Things. Talk about 11 performance. Like, as that film wears on, it gets out of control. Talk about modulating down, even in a camp performance like that. These directors have to be able to tell the actors, you got to change this or that. And it all gets back to the same thing I tell you guys, like as a studio head. If you brought me in to do anything at a studio, I'm not going to hold back. I'm not going to say this, that, or the other to hurt, to not hurt someone's feelings. Are you kidding me? I don't care about that. I don't care if someone comes after me because I'm confident in who I am. I don't need the validation. And if I'm an actor and I'm not doing what they want me to do, and they honestly have good talent and eye for what they're supposed to be getting from the film, you need to be able to express that, communicate that to the actor so they can get there, because Chalamet just doesn't have it. I mean, there's no other way to put it. It's 100% right. He has a personality in real life, but on camera, he needs to be in movies like Dune and what was the boy movie where he played the boy that was on what was he on? Whatever drug he was on. He needs to be on Broken Boy, whatever the hell it's called. Those are the films that Timothy Chalamet has to be in. He can't be Willy Wonka. It's on him at some level because obviously he was hired to do the job. So here's the thing, as an actor, if someone said, great example, okay, so let's just say someone said, hey, we're doing a new show and we want you to shill Weber, I'd say I'm not doing it. If I'm an actor and they say, we want you to play Willy Wonka, I'm like, I don't know if I really can do that. Like, I know what my strengths are. My strengths are more like a grounded kind of inner character. Dune, the boy film. Beautiful boy, right? There it is. I didn't need your help. I did not look at the comments. That's what we're looking at for Timothy Chalamet. We're not looking at this. It's just a big miss. And if Grace Randolph has this in her top 10 of the year, listen, we praised Grace Randolph for being on the right side of history for Poor Things. She is erratic. My God. Some of these films, I'm telling you, man, there's so many critics that are bad, except for our very few MMT-approved critics, such as Dargis from the New York Times, one of the best. Not just because New York Times, because I think at times the New York Times is a shit show, but she is really good. She's very good. I think she nominated for Best Picture with Critics' Choice. She did? She nominated this for Wonka? Good God. Now you guys know why I am done with Critics' Choice. I'm done with HCA. I'm done with all of those groups because every time I see the announcement of these films, I just go, oh my God, you guys are so terrible at this. Again, from Gone Girl, Timothy Chalamet, talented actor. Agreed. Yeah, exactly. Beautiful boy. Call Me by Your Name. Boom. And even Lady Bird, right? But when he has to go to a place he's not comfortable in, it's not going to work. It's just exactly Nomis. He works in Dune. He doesn't work here. Thank you, Mega Swiper. Appreciate that. A great fun film, but needed more of a backstory to Oompa Loompas and to have more things in the plot move along swarmily. Listen, Film Talk, I wouldn't even say it's a fun film. It's a faux fun film. You want it to be good. You hope it would be good with Paul King. It just doesn't ever create the magic that's necessary. It also feels very long. It's 2 hours plus, a little over 2 hours. It feels like it's 2.5, 2:45. It's a drain. It is just stale. Nothing really fires. And that's because of Chalamet. It's because Chalamet. I mean, if Chalamet is interesting in this role, the film is infinitely better. Infinitely. No, you know who I'd have? This is a great question. Someone asked me this. I saw my movie Twitter buddies afterwards, and listen, Simone's one of my good friends. She's a huge Timothy Chalamet fan, but I told her He's not the guy. She said, well, then who is? I got it. You guys ready? Barry Keoghan. Barry Keoghan would be a much better Wonka than Timothy Chalamet. Why? Because Keegan's weird. Keegan's dangerous. He's got just that weird, eccentric. I told you the time I saw him at my gym, and he looked at me with those blue eyes. He looked at me like he was going to kill me, and I don't blame him. Most people do. But he looked at me, and I go, dude, this guy's crazy. Chalamet, you're like, oh, look at this kid. He's just a nice guy, isn't he? Plus, he's really frail too, right? Chalamet's just not. He's a very much of a girly boy. When you look at him, he's not a manly man, right? Is that why Hollywood likes him? Because we don't want that toxic masculinity out there. By the way, I'll make a deal with you guys. If we get this channel to 5,000 or maybe even 10, just because I think I need to push, I will do a shirtless show. Andrew Tate's not the only guy who could take his shirt off. I think I could take Tate in a physique contest. I got that guy. I'm legit. He might be stronger, but physique-wise, I got him. I'll take him out. Uh-oh, watch out. He's going to come after me. Wes Anderson for Glass. Great Glass Elevator. I don't even know what's going on with Wes Anderson. Mega Swiper, I have no idea. Is he making another movie? I have no idea. I'm not going to lie to you. Chalamet has become more of a celebrity than the thespian we thought he would become. He's not DiCaprio. DiCaprio has talent. More talent than Chalamet. Chalamet is a personality. I would agree with that. He's more of a movie star, but I don't think he's a movie star. He's not really. He's just a mid-plus actor. He's not a lead actor. You're wrong. Listen, guys. Listen. I got to render the final verdict on Timothy Chalamet. I said it. He is not that interesting to watch. And ultimately, as a movie star, you have to be, even Tom Cruise, go back and watch, you look at any of the Mission Impossible films where he has to play the superhero, any movie he's been in, for God's sake, Edge of Tomorrow, name any movie that he's been in where he has to be the movie star. He is the movie star. No matter what it is, he's going to get it done. The energy he has. When Timothy Chalamet tries to give out energy, he goes like, sometimes in the movie, in Wonka, you'll get him going, like, let's go out and do something. And 2 minutes later, he's like, I think we should sell candy bars. His role, he doesn't know really where he's going in any moment. It's almost like King was like, give me 10 different goes here and we'll use one of the takes. I don't know which one. Give me a level 10, 9, 8, 7. And it's like they're not that different. And then when it's too much, it's over wattage because he's not naturally eccentric. And that's the issue here. You have to be naturally weird, and he's not that. Okay, let's do a sales check, and then we can come back to some more comments. I want to keep going because I've got a couple super chats that have to do with other things other than Wonka. Let's go look at the sales right now for the Burbank AMC. We go into the IMAX at 9 o'clock, and then I'll give you my prediction for this film. My screening at 4 o'clock was dead. Like, nobody in there. So, okay. This is about, what would you say? 75% full, 70% full. It's not great. Look at that front row. This is the 9 o'clock Wonka. Look at the front row, which is that's like one of the prime rows. You've got 6 people in that row. That row should be full. This is pretty dead. It's like 60% full, 55. Yeah, that's not a good thing. Let's go back and check. Let's look at a different Wonka, and then I'll give you my number. My number is definitely lower than everybody else because of the fact that I just don't, especially after seeing the film, that's about 50% full at best. That doesn't look that good. But remember, like I said at the top of the stream, this film is going to be out over Christmas, so it doesn't have to do all its business this weekend. It can really play for the next 15 days. And that's a good thing for this film. There's going to be a lot of competition in there. You've got Aquaman 2, you got Color Purple, and you've got Wonka, the 3 Warner Brothers films. You got Migration coming in, which is the big Illumination Universal film. It's going to be, I think, a pretty strong holiday Christmas corridor. But listen, Aquaman 2 is not going to do that great. You can just see the sales. The early sales look terrible. Here you go. IMAX Universal is, what was that, 50% full? It's not great. I'm going to give you a number here of 50 50, shit, that's so wrong. I'm going to give you a number of 25 on this. 25 to open here for Wonka, and most people have it in the 30s. I'm going to go 25, which is going to be a big underperformance because the film is underwhelming. If the film blew me away, word of mouth would be strong. You get a high cinema score, then you're talking about a big number. As such, I just can't go that high with this number. I'm going to go 25 on this to open. But remember, when we talk about this film over the long haul, over the Christmas corridor, it has plenty of time, 15 days starting from now, actually beyond 15 days, 16, 17, 18 days until you get past the new year. All these people are going to be off. People are going to movies, and this will be one of the movies they see. It's just unfortunate the film is not good. The film is very much of a mid outing, and Chalamet is largely to blame for that. I'm not sure Barry Keoghan as Wonka would have been the tone. Well, yes, I understand that, Ryan, but I still think that I would rather watch Keoghan play this role because it's more interesting to me. For me as a film viewer, I want to watch an actor who's interesting, right? Even if I don't love their work, at least they're interesting to me. And Keoghan is nothing short of, whenever he's on the screen, you just go, that guy's weird. There's something about him that is, you're drawn into the persona of Barry Keoghan. I've never once been drawn into the persona of Timothée Chalamet. I mean, but Dune is for me, Dune is not Chalamet. Dune is Denis. Dune is the filmmaking. Dune is the world building, right? That's what Dune is. Chalamet, yes, he plays a role in that world, but it does not, the whole world does not revolve. That film does not center on his performance. Now, in the second one, more so, but still, it is an ensemble film. So, the problem here is, yes, Wonka it's got some other characters, obviously, than Wonka, but it's more on his shoulders. And because he can't handle it, the film is not great. It just doesn't fire like it should. All right, here we go. Let's talk about Netflix, because I do see some super chats talking about Rebel Moon, and we are going to watch the Beverly Hills Cop 4 trailer. You're going to hit play. I'm going to hit play. I'm going to talk about it as I have not watched it. Let me explain something before I get into Beverly Hills Cop 4 and Rebel Moon. Netflix still sucks. I am the only person out there who will stand in my truth and stand up to the great and almighty Netflix and say, you suck and you do not value us as cinephiles, and theatrical lovers. Look here, I sent this. No theatrical, no Netflix. They do not care about the theatrical experience for you guys that are not in New York, LA, the major cities. You cannot watch a Netflix film at the theater. Every other studio in Hollywood has theatrical. Even the streamers, Amazon, Apple, you look at a Neon, you look at an A24, an IFC. All of these studios, I'm going through the small studios, they all have theatrical at AMC and Regal. Yet here is Netflix going, we still don't want to do it. Then we don't care about you. I spread this graphic. Go find this tweet on Twitter and retweet this. Send this out. This is no Netflix. No more. You will no more supporting this company. If they will not bring movies to you, then we will not support them, because we are all about theatrical. Do we ever talk about streaming shit here? No. I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about movies I see at the movie theater, and I'm an AMC guy. If you're a Regal guy or a Cinemark guy or girl, then God bless you. But that is what we talk about. Now let's talk about Rebel Moon, because I don't care about this film. Do you guys? I think Zack Snyder's fine. Do I want to go watch like Zack Snyder? I watched that Army of the Dead. I put it on for 10 minutes and I turned it off. I can't watch this. His filmmaking gives me a headache after a very short amount of time. Here's Zack Snyder, right? Check this out. This is him on Twitter saying, join me at the Egyptian this Friday to celebrate the 70mm theatrical release of Rebel Moon. Zach, let's call Zack Snyder out tonight, because I do see it right here. It's one of our super chats, and thanks for that. I really appreciate it, and welcome back, Galliette, to the channel. Let me go back and get it. I got to find it. Here it is. The Weber signals on to rip Snyder a new one for his obsession with pointless cuts of his overly long, pretentious movies. Call for Rebel Moon. So you saw it. I haven't seen it. I can tell you that I know someone, Scott Menzel, saw it, and I know that he accentuated the positives, but he wasn't high on it when I talked to him. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to get into because, it is what it is. Netflix allows their directors to do whatever they want. That's not a great thing. Directors need to have some control on them. They have to. You have to. I don't care if I directed a film. I would want somebody who knew what they were talking about going, hey, Eric, this is good, but I really think you should cut this, and this, and tighten this up. The problem is that the directors have such big egos that they think they know everything. Zack Snyder, do you think he'd ever listen to something? If I watch Rebel Moon and said, hey, man, this thing's way too long. You got to cut here and here, and this is too much, and what's up with the slow-mo and this shit? He'd be like, I'm Zack fucking Snyder. I don't need to listen to you. Who the hell do you think you are? I'm like, God, well, I get news for you. I know more than you, clearly, because this is not a great film. Haven't seen it yet. But my point is these directors they're not going to take that. You remember that story about what's his ass when he made Avatar, Cameron? He told the Fox exec said, you got to cut this thing down, Avatar 2. And he's like, the hell I do. But guess what? The exec was right. These directors, though, won't be told that. And that's the problem. You got to get them in line. You got to go Harvey Weinstein on them. And don't even go there. We've had this conversation a million times before. Harvey Weinstein, piece of shit, garbage human being. Yes. Obviously, duh. But as a film executive, he was a ruthless son of a bitch. And he told these directors, get your shit in line. Nobody in the studio does that. No one in Hollywood does it anymore. Nobody. And because of that, we suffer when we get these films. I haven't seen it yet. But Zack Snyder listen, bro, you're bullshitting us. This film is not available for most people in 70 millimeter. If you live in LA at the Egyptian, you can go see it. If you live in New York, you can probably see it at what's the one they have there, the theater in New York. You can probably see it there. Can you see it in Columbus, Ohio, my hometown? Can you see it in Dallas? Can you guys go see Rebel Moon in Denver? Can you go see it in Idaho Falls? In Pittsburgh? Philly? No. So Zack Snyder, these directors that work with these studios, with Netflix, they should be called out, And the thing is here's the thing. Warner Brothers probably wouldn't even make Rebel Moon. Let's be honest. They go, this is too much money for a film like this. Netflix is so dumb, they just go, here's your paycheck. Here's your paycheck, and make your movie. We don't care. Make whatever you want. We're not going to give you any notes because we're Netflix and we don't give a shit. And we just put out a bunch of movies that really aren't very good. They're just a bunch of mid shit. So I'd imagine this is mid. Netflix should be charged with abuse for feeding the illusions of both the Russo brothers and Zack Snyder pretending to be auteurs. Yeah. Listen, Netflix is a joke of a studio. Scott Stuber I don't know what job he has as a studio head there, but he doesn't do a very good job of it. As a studio head, you must control your films, and there is no creative control on the directors there, zero. And if you don't have that, you're going to end up with these films that are bloated, these films that allow these directors to do whatever they want, allow us to sit through a Gray Man, a film that was an abomination of a film and yet cost $200 million. How people at Netflix have jobs, I don't know. I don't understand how Scott Stuber still has a job. Make it make sense to me, because it doesn't. It will never make sense to me that you have a studio head that is doing nothing from a creative standpoint. He's every time you listen to Scott Stuber, he's in front of the audience. He's like, oh, this director's the best. Just like, lapping up, saying this is the best person in the world. Never a hint. He's the nice guy. You can't be the nice guy as the studio head. You got to be a dick. You got to be like Kevin Spacey in, what the hell is that movie? Oh my God, where he just browbeats the assistant the entire time, Swimming with Sharks. You got to be like Spacey. You got to be a dick. You got to be like Harvey Weinstein minus the rape. I know that's asking a lot, but I'm just saying it's true. You guys know, anyone who wants to try to cancel that shit, go to hell, all of you, because I know what I just said. I said we need people who are ruthless, not the rape part of it. Duh. But someone's going to be out there going, oh, Weber just said you guys are idiots. Don't do that. Please don't do that. You guys, be better than that. Netflix said, no, I'm not going to watch Gray Man 2. I cannot believe they made that movie. Oh, is he talking about the first Avatar? Okay, whatever. Either way. Listen, here's the thing. Bodie, I don't care if the movie made $2 billion. You guys, A movie that makes $2 billion does not make it good. Avatar sucks. Avatar, I'm not going to watch Avatar 3. If you think Avatar 2 is like great entertainment, I'm curious if you, and this is not at you, Bodie. It's typically Bodie that stirs this shit up. I'm going to tell you, if you think that Avatar is a great thing, I almost feel like you want to be an Avatar. I don't want to be an Avatar. I'm good in my life. I live a life that I enjoy. I do not want to go live in some freaking meta world with strapped to a tree, reading my thoughts. I don't want to see Avatar. I hated Avatar 2. The more I think about Avatar 2, and the fact that film made $2 billion, I think it's a money laundering scheme. Who still talks about, name one person that talks about Avatar 2 to this day. Name one. Name one person. Nobody. Because the movie's boring as hell. Nobody wants Avatar 3 except for Disney because they committed to 4 and 5 and 6. All right, let's do it. Beverly Hills Cop 4 trailer. I want you guys right now. I'm going to find it, and I'm going to send the link in the chat. Your job, remember, this is how we get around the whole copyright strike bullshit. I'm going to send you guys the thing, and we're going to go watch. Hold on. I haven't watched this yet. Okay, guys, I need you to know. I have not watched this trailer. Here it comes. Hit this. Thank you. Exactly, bro. It's terrible. Avatar 2 is not good. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? I want you to go. I'm going to show it here, and then I'm going to hit play. But remember, I can't watch this live because I can watch it, but I can't. If I show it, they're going to hit me with a copyright strike. So when I say go, let me go back to frame number 0. Okay, when I say go, you guys go, and I'll start talking about it, and we'll discuss it. I have not watched this until this moment. So right now, your job is to get that. I put it in the thing. You can copy and paste it, or just go to YouTube and put in Beverly Hills Cop 4 trailer. And then put it at frame 0 that you can see right there. Let me make it really big, and then I'm going to make myself big, and I'm going to talk about the trailer. Everybody in 5, 4, 3, 2, and trailer start.
I almost admire you. Still on these streets, running uncut.
Kevin Bacon. Beverly Hills. Obviously. No, Axel F. Hell yeah. Oh, the Netflix logo. Fuck!
Watch your ass out there, okay? I'm gonna be fine. They love me at Beverly Hills.
Paul Rudd.
Detective Foley.
Not Rudd. Paul, what's
your own fight, shootouts, start the piece, a lot. Please tell me you didn't get arrested again. Twice, but I broke out.
Oh, I like this so far.
We put our lives on the line.
It looks really good too.
And for what?
Netflix sucks.
Right.
Netflix sucks. Netflix sucks. This looks really clean. Looks like everything the Gray Man should have been.
So how many people have you pissed off so far?
I haven't pissed off anybody.
Yeah,
50-50.
50.
Is it that high? So far. Wow.
Oh, everything was awesome about that until it said Netflix. And then I was like, shit. Bacon's amazing. Listen, let's talk about Beverly Hills Cop because I grew up with this franchise. Gen X, man. Listen, I have the Beverly Hills Cop cassette and the Beverly Hills Cop 2 soundtrack cassette. Both of those. I wore those bitches out. I could tell you every song on both of those albums. I go back. One of my favorite songs from the original Beverly Hills Cop is by The System. It was Rock and Roll Me Again. No one talks about that song. It's a really cool song. Remember The System? Don't disturb this groove. Don't disturb this groove. They had a song on there. I love that song. I can't play it. It's a copyright strike. But I love these movies, especially I'm a big fan of Part 2 because I love the direction of Scott. That in-your-face direction of the 80s, when you go back and watch it, Die Hard, same thing. The way those films are directed, just this big, larger-than-life action stuff. Beverly Hills Cop looks amazing, Part 2. More so than 1. I like 2, and I love Bob Seger's Shakedown. My God, it's like on my gym playlist. As soon as I start hearing that, like you just go, let's do this shit. I'm like running up and down Sunset like 500 miles an hour because that song kicks ass. what a shame this is Netflix. I mean, what a travesty for all of you, for me, for the entire universe of theatrical lovers that Netflix has this film and not Paramount. This makes me even angrier, and I want to go picket Netflix. If anyone here in LA wants to join me now that the SAG strike is over, I say we go down to Netflix and we picket that bitch with signs that say, get theatrical now. Get theatrical now. That's our chant. Very simple. Get theatrical now. Go. Get theatrical now. Go. Yeah, we're going to get out there, maybe 3 of us. I don't care. Pointers, a Neutron Dance, the opening song, right? Listen, I will go picket Netflix. I will do it if I have at least one other person that comes with me. I mean, I'll do it by myself, but I'd like to have a few people in backup. If you want to do it, if you can make signs, we will go down to Netflix on Sunset and we will picket outside the gate where all the executives drive on the lot. Maybe we'll see Stuber if he even comes to work, because based on the movies that I'm seeing come out of that studio, other than Axel F., which was a Paramount movie initially, I don't think he even goes to work. I think he just sits at home and gives people money. But that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna picket the shit out of them because I want to see Axel F. And now I'm gonna have to watch it somewhere other than a movie theater. I'm not going to support it at one of these random indie theaters, although I love you random indie theaters. I want it at AMC and Regal. You should be too, right? 100% pissed off, as I always am with this. Why am I the only guy who rails on Netflix? Because the other critics are afraid they're going to get everything taken away from. Netflix might not invite me to another movie because my whole existence is validated by going to a party where nobody knows who I am, and I feel cool, though, because I'm around stars. Because I have such a boring life. Like this critics, by the way, you guys ready? Let's do it. Critics' choice reaction. Like the critics who got flown to LA to hang out with the stars. So they flew them in from Nashville, from Dayton, I don't know where else, just any other city than LA. Put them up in the 5-star Ritz-Carlton. Oh, wait, it was actually the Four Seasons. My bad. 5 stars, 4 nights, $200 spending cash every single night. And you know what you get for that? Do you know what you get when you do that? You guys ready for what you get? You get a Best Picture nomination in the Critics' Choice Awards. What is the 10th film on this list? And trust me, it was the 10th film in. A film that would never make a Best Picture list because it's too effing weird, although Poor Things is here. Saltburn should not be here. Air should be here. At least if you're going to give back to the studio that flew you in to LA and put you up at the Four Seasons for 4 nights. And these bitches are proud of it. Like my boy Ricky Valero, the thirstiest little bitch in the world. That dude is proud of the fact that he's a shill. He's like, look at me. I'm in LA. I said something. He's like, look at me. You, Ricky, are insignificant. Don't ever forget that. At the end of the day, and the reason you are is because you're a shill. Nobody respects you because your words mean nothing. And the fact that you're proud that you flew out to LA and they put you up in the Four Seasons for 4 nights and got $200 spending cash, and you voted for Saltburn to get a Best Picture. Remember, at the end of the day, you're a shill, and that's why nobody pays attention to you, because you have no gravitas whatsoever in the field. 0. Remember that, buddy. Remember that. That's the end of the day. And you're telling me, why am I the only guy who goes after these people? Why do I have to be the guy who attacks these people for being shills, and then I'm the bad guy? Erick's the bad guy for going after these people. I am so sick of it. The film Twitter people, Weber's terrible. He's a terrible person. But the people like my boy Ricky and all the people who flew from all over that are shills and getting put up in hotels and getting money to spend on expensive dinners, they're not. They're fine. They're good people. But Weber's bad for calling it out. He's mean. He's not a very nice person. He's saying mean things about movies and people. But the people that are actually doing the shit are fine. You guys, your priorities are whack. You guys are so jacked up. Grace wasted her vote for Wonka. I'm sure she voted for Saltburn. Did they fly her in here? They flew them all in. This is why I dropped out of Critics' Choice. I said, I don't want to be part of this organization. The stench is real. In the fact that I'm the only person calling this out, remember that there are some of us that are authentic and are fearless, and there are others that are little whiny ass shills, and that's who you'll always be. I'll never be that. So you can say whatever you want about me, but at the end of the day, they never say I'm inauthentic like you. So ultimately, that's the win. Give me the W, baby. Yeah, the Globe nominations were better than the Critics' Choice nomination. Let's go over some of these, because other than the fact that Saltburn got in because they flew all the members out here, all 60 of them, and they're proud of it. Look at us, we're in LA. We're so cool. No, you're not cool because you're in LA. You're not cool ever, really. You could be literally anywhere and you'd never be cool. So they're just not cool people. Let's just be honest with each other. Okay, is that cool? Yeah, it's cool. All right, let's go. Hold on, I'm gonna show you. Let me show you the whole list. And then I'll go through this and I'll tell you where they hit or the miss. And remember, I haven't seen all the films because I don't watch Netflix movies, because I am not going to support that company. Unlike the rest of them. Oh, does Netflix invite me to a party? Oh my God, I'm so cool. Best Picture, American Fiction. You know my problem with that film. It is a great central idea about the writer who is a fraud, right? Writes a book with an alias because he doesn't want to have a ghetto release, but yet it ends up being the most successful of all of his books he's ever authored. Problem is, there's all these other characters in the film, and it feels like an episodic show when it gets to that. And that's what Cord Jefferson did with that film. I wish it didn't have all that. Otherwise, it is entertaining. I like the film enough. It's not a Best Picture. Barbie, for what it is, what it did, box office-wise, for sure. The phenomenon culturally that film was, I have no problem with that being there. Color Purple, I wanted to see it. It was overflow on the Warner Brothers lot. I said, now I'll see it over Christmas. I'm not going to bother. Holdovers, right there with my favorite films of the year. That belongs there, no question. Killers, no question. Maestro, I haven't seen. Netflix. Oppenheimer, listen, I have my issues with the screenplay. It's not the film I would write, but the filmmaking, Nolan, come on, it's a Best Picture. Past Lives, no question, does not belong to be here. It has no reason being here. It's one of the most overrated films of the year, along with Poor Things. Poor Things is far worse than Past Lives, but these are two very overvalued films. Far better films out there. Zone of Interest should be in here before that. In addition, I put John Wick 4 on here before I put Past Lives or Poor Things. I put Air on here before either those two films. Those are just three. There's many, many others. I put All of Us Strangers on here before then. I would put The Iron Claw on here before those two. On and on. Name almost any movie. I would put Shazam 2 on here before Poor Things. I would put... But I put Beau is Afraid in over. That's hard. Don't ask me to do that. And then Saltburn, the one that was purchased. Congratulations, Amazon, for purchasing the number 10 spot, for flying all of our shills in from all over, from their menial lives to make them feel like they were something out here, hanging out with the stars. Here's how I imagine it goes when the critics hang out with the stars. A lot of the critics, and they're just not cool people in general. It's just fair. I think it's fair. I know that might not be nice, but they're just not very cool people. So here's the thing: is like the stars are cool people. So they come up and these critics come up and they just go, the critics, here's the conversation at the end of this. The stars are like, oh my God, did you see some of these people? That's exactly what they say. Oh my God, did you? That's what they're saying at the end. Margot Robbie's the sweetest thing, but at the end of the thing, she's like, I don't know about this. I don't know if I want to keep doing this. Best actor, Cooper, Maestro didn't see it. Leo, yes, no question. Coleman Domingo, Netflix, no, sorry. Giamatti should win. Cillian Murphy should be in second place. Leo would be right there, but Leo's already won, so that's why we keep him in, but we don't give him the prize. And because we have six is so much easier to do, we've got Jeffrey Wright, although I love Jeffrey Wright in the film. The film is just not as great as it could have been had it not had all of that extraneous bullshit with the family. Best actress. Lily Gladstone will win for Killers of the Flower Moon. She'll win Oscar. I told you guys that months ago. I have been right the entire way. By the way, a little bit of love for my Golden Globes. When I did my Golden Globes, guessing the Globe stream, go back and watch what films did I pick to get in there over the films that Variety and Clayton Davis, the awards whisperer, said I had Zone of Interest in. It gets in. I know what I'm talking about, okay, guys? I know what I'm doing. The people might not like it. They might have a problem with my methods, but it is what it is. I'm good at what I do. End of discussion. Sandra Huller, Anatomy of a Fall, one of my favorite films of the year, and a film that, again, go back to the editing. We talked about that when we initially evaluated the film. It wins L.A. Film Critics their best edited film. I love seeing that because it points that I know what I'm talking about. Sorry, I got to say that. It's the truth. Greta Lee, Past Lives, does not belong here. That scene at the end where Greta Lee has to emote, she starts crying with her husband. I was like, this is bad. Like, this is terrible. The dude gets in the cab and leaves, and she gets into what's his name's arms. And she's like, I go, what? This is me in the theater. I'm like, what? And yet here she is for Best Actress. That does not belong. Which of these does not, but Greta Lee does not belong. Never did. I said that from when I first saw the film. She has no business in Best Actress. None. It's not a bad performance. She does not belong to be here. She should excuse herself from this. Can you imagine? I've looked at my performance, and I'm just going to say that I don't think I belong, so I'm going to step out. I'm going to disqualify myself. Carey Mulligan, Maestro. I love Carey Mulligan. I'm sure she belongs there. I have not seen Maestro. It's Netflix. Margot Robbie for the film. I understand that. Is it a great performance? It gets better as the film goes along. She is Barbie, obviously. That's the iconic performance of the year. Yeah, she can be there. Emma Stone, Poor Things. If you're going to listen, if you said, Eric, you got to pick one thing to praise with Poor Things, of course it's going to be Emma Stone. It's not going to be a single thing other than that. So I will allow it because it is what it is, and it's Emma Stone. She's getting in. Now, if I were to say who would be somebody that I would put in there instead that I've seen this year, it's not been a great year, right? It's been a weak year. Regardless of what King Film Twitter Sean Fennessy says, it's been a great... No, it's not. 2023 has not been a great year, okay, guys? Let's make sure that's 100% clear. It's been a mid-year with a couple of pretty good films, no great film. There's no Tar, there's no After Sun, there's no Decision to Leave this year. There's none of those films, and those were all the three best films of the year last year for me, and none of the films I have this year, including Zone of Interest, look at All of Us Strangers, you look at Holdovers, none of those are up at the Tar, After Sun, and Decision to Leave level for me. None of them. Okay, here we go. Let me just look. I'm going to go to awards days, and I'll tell you who I believe should be there instead. I have not seen Color Purple, but I have a feeling Fantasia should be there from what I could see from the trailers. I've not seen Naiad, but Greta Lee should definitely excuse herself from this. I really want to see Origin. And let me explain something. There's been a lot of articles talking about Origin, and people aren't going to see it. I've told you guys this year I'm not going to these movies as they driving across town to see these things. I'll see them when they open. So I did not make a calculated effort to skip Color Purple and Origin. They just weren't working into my schedule. The reason I saw the Iron Claw is it was literally outside my gym. I went to the gym and I said, oh, the Iron Claws. I walked in. It was like that. When I tried to go see Color Purple, the card, it looked like Times Square on a Friday night. I go, I'm not trying to get on this lot. So it's just about, for me, does it work or does it not? If it does not work, then I'm not going to do this shit. It's just not worth it. I've heard some things about Maestro, Richard. I've heard some really interesting things, like it's not great. And I want to watch it, and I will watch it, but I'm just telling you what I would say if I was a star. I would agree with Kaylee Spaney. That's a good call, Gone Girl. I didn't get to that one. She's on my list here somewhere. She's on my... Hold on, let me show you. She's right there. Yeah, I mean, she's very good. I would put her in over Greta Lee without question. Yeah, good call. Wait, which one? Hold on, I missed it. 50 Cent, Anatomy of... Wait, what? No. No, it's definitely not. His song's not in the movie. I feel like I like Priscilla more than most people. Listen, Johnny, I really like the film. Let me see if I can get to my reaction. It's been so long since I've seen it. Let me see if I can find it. I gotta, we did the reaction video, but let me see what I wrote, because I remember liking a lot of the filmmaking. It's very minimal, right, in its approach from what Sophia does. I love the use of music in the film. Hold on. How do you spell Priscilla? Pris. I'm going to look for it. Give me a second. I'm going to find it. Here it is. Boom. There it is. Okay. This is, again, my evaluations are pretty dead on most of the time, I would say. Like its lead performance, Priscilla is a work of intricate beauty. Kaylee Spaney bestowing the raw innocence required for the role of Elvis's muse. Jacob Elordi more than holds his own as the king, with Coppola giving the film a dimly lit, entrancing aura. Great Elvis bookend. Yeah, I think that's all of that. I think one thing I didn't talk about is the use of music in there. There's not any Elvis songs, but the use of things like, I love that track that's in the trailer. I play it before I do every stream. It's the track by, let me see if I can get the name of the band. I have it here. How You Satisfy Me. Oh, it's such a good song. The use of music is very strong in that film. She's a great director. She's certainly gotten better and better with each film, and even go back to an On the Rocks. I like that film a lot, just for the just easy breezy nature of it. It's very easy to watch, and Priscilla is one of the better films of this year. Right, so I have no problem with that. Let's talk about tonight's kid. It is St. Louis SC, one of my favorites. I just got this one. It's pink. If you guys, it looks red, but in person it's like a fuchsia, and it's got like the yellow striping on here. It's a really cool jersey, and I've said this before with my football shirts / jerseys / soccer jerseys. If you can get an Adidas authentic jersey, I can't recommend enough. This is an authentic. They cost over $100, like $130. And I know that sounds like a lot. Trust me, I get it. But let me explain something to you. The fit on this thing and the quality of the craftsmanship on this kit is as fine as you'll find on an Italian suit. When you put this on, I feel like a superhero. So I love these. I'm a major fan of any Adidas authentic football shirt. There's a big difference. They have the stadium and then they have authentic. Get one if you can. It's worth it. I don't care whatever team it is. Get it. You'll be like, okay, I'm never wearing a t-shirt again. I'm wearing these. Let's go with one more thing before we get out of here. We're almost up on the hour. I got 10 minutes. I'll go to open reaction at that point. I want to mention one thing that I saw today that made me very happy. Someone got Poor Things right. Very few have. But these guys finally got it right. And it's the publication called Film Stage. And, they're fairly cinephilic. But I got to give them credit. Look at here. Here's the top 50 films of 2023. And I'm like, oh, shit. Please, when I open it up, I go, please do not have Poor Things number one. Please, anything, I beseech you, do not have Poor Things number one, or I am going to lose it with a tweet and I will go all in on the film again. No, they finally didn't do it. They did what was right here, because look what they have at number 23. That is much more fitting for this film, because it's nowhere near a Best Picture. And the fact that they put this in 23rd, which is nowhere near a Best Picture, right? Best Picture would be the top 10. By the way, their number one film was Coast of Flower Moon, so I do see eye to eye with this publication on that film. It's one of my favorite films of the year. It's way up there. But Poor Things at 23 made me very happy. I go, you guys rock. Finally. Let's go. Let me click it. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find. Give me 1 second to find it. The number 1 was Colors of Flower Moon for sure. Let me see if I can find the Film Stage. Give me 1 second. Oh, I should really have this ready to go. That was a great question. Thanks for asking, because I really should have had that. Okay, here we go. Film Stage. Let's go to the Film Stage. Let's go to the Share the tab. And let's find what their top 10 is. Give me a second. By the way, this movie, Anselm, they keep asking me to see this thing. They've sent me like 1,000 invites for this 3D doc. I kind of want to see it. But again, it's like this thing. I just don't want to go out of my way to watch these movies. I want to see them down the street. It's so easy. Best documentaries, best cinematography, best directorial, gift guide. Where the hell is it? Best films. Oh, here it is. Got it. Boom. Here we go. Okay, I'm not going to go through all of them. Let's just go to the top 10, and I'll tell you if I've seen them or not. Some of these I have not. I have not seen every movie this year, because a lot of them, Netflix films, some of the smaller films, I get to as many as possible. You guys don't understand. They have Knock on the Cabin. I mean, of these films, I've probably seen 40 of the 50. That's pretty good. Wouldn't you say? Oh, How to Blow Up a Pipeline. Great film. Number 33. I have not seen 32. Okay, let's just do it. Okay, fine. Let's just play it. I'll tell you what I've seen, what I haven't out of the top 50. 50. I have not seen Sick of Myself, but it's Borgley who did Dream Scenario, which I love. So I might see that because I love his direction. I want to see that film. Okay, After Love, I have not. I've heard good things about. Walk Up, I have not. Hello, Dark Dankness, I have not. Beau is Afraid. Oh, shit. Don't even. Geographies of Solitude, I have not. The Kane Mutiny Court Martial, I have not. Unrest, I have not. A lot of these are foreign films. Human Surge 3, have not. Knock at the Cabin, I have. Not good. It's no. Actually, I liked it. Hitman, I didn't see. It's Netflix. Perfect Days, I've heard good things about. I'll watch it when it comes out. It's Neon. They're going to have it at AMC. Bottoms, hate it. Would never have it in the top 50. Iron Claw, yes. Very good film. In my top 10 for sure. Godland, haven't seen. Our Body, haven't seen. How to Blow Pipeline, really like. Love the raw filmmaking of that film. Very good, very strong film. One of my favorites of the year, actually, when you think about it. The Plains, haven't seen. Delinquents, I saw. It is long. It's a 3-hour film. It's Argentinian film, and it's got a great first half and not a great second half. Delinquents, I've seen. Here, I have not seen. The Beast, have not seen. All Dirt Roads Taste of Salt, A24, I have not. I'd want to see it. It's not out for me to see at AMC. Taste of Things, I haven't seen yet. Youth, I haven't seen. I shouldn't have done this. There's too many I haven't seen. Poor Things, I've seen. Ugh, Priscilla's on here. Close Your Eyes. Don't know what that is. Passages. I saw Passages. I like Passages. A lot of people love Passages. There's things I like about Passages, but there's things I definitely don't. One of the most unlikable protagonists in the history of cinema. But that's the point of the film. But I do love Ira Sachs. Go back and look at Love is Strange, one of my favorite movies of the past decade, about 2014, I believe, on that. I love that. Love is Strange. Didn't see 1817 Ferrari. I've not seen. It looks like that film's dead. It's doing nothing awards-wise. I've not seen 16. I've seen 15, All of the Strangers. The Killer, no. Boy and the Heron, very overrated film. If it was not Miyazaki, that would not be as beloved as it is. It's not a masterpiece, that's for sure. Past Lives, 12, no way. Fallen Leaves, I liked. I saw the other night. I don't know if I'd have it at 11, that high on my list, but I do like the film, and I love the 80-minute runtime, and that'll be a fall 10. I have no problem with that. So no, it's just great film. 9, I love. Asteroid City, I like Asteroid City a lot. It's going to end up in my top 10 of the year. It's number 8 here. A Fire, I've not seen. I've heard good things about. Holdovers, one of my top 10. It's number 6. Pacification, I have not seen. If it's this high, I'll watch it. 5. Showing Up, I liked. We talked about that film. The problem with Showing Up is there's a pigeon, and it revolves around. The pigeon angle sucks. The movie's very good, though. I like Kelly Reichardt's raw cinema verite direction. I love it. May, December, haven't seen. It's polarizing. I want to see it. Oppenheimer, number 2, and number 1's Killers of the Flower Moon. I've seen a lot of it. Okay, so maybe I've seen 30, 35. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'm sure there's a lot of films on there I want to see. At the end of the day, you guys know I watch all my movies in movie theaters. So if it's a screener link kind of thing, there's a lot of films I could watch in addition to the ones I see in theaters, but I don't. I would rather go see, like I watched a movie called The Inventor, which is an animated film that nobody went to see this summer. It's like a Blue Fox Entertainment thing. You know why I saw it? It's AMC, and I support theatrical, and I went to see it. If I can't see it at AMC, then I'm not going to watch the movie. So some of those films, if they were at AMC, I would have seen them. And because they weren't, I didn't. It's really that simple. Wait, what? More Than Yeah, fantasy. Oh, my God. Don't even get me started. All right, hold on. Let's see. Is there anything else? A couple comments and we'll get out of here, and then we're back on Sunday. Let's do it. Whatever you want to. Open comment time. Let me make sure I didn't miss any super chats. And then there's one right there. Theatrical rule. Netflix rules. Netflix is an embarrassment to theatrical, and you guys need to pick up the ball and run with it, man. If we gather in groups and say no more Netflix, and really like every time they post something, go, why don't you have theatrical? Why are you so shitty? Then we will maybe get something done. I will go pick it there. I'm not even kidding. It's not even a stunt. Even if just a couple, they already know. Netflix is very much aware of who I am and the fact that I trash them all the time. I've had sources that tell me that, but I would love to drive that as. Here's the thing: I get this really bad rap for being a jerk, the film Twitter asshole. Yet, who has more passion, is more authentic than me, and wants to see these films succeed theatrically? Me, the only one. I'm the only one. Yet I'm the bad guy. Get your priorities straight. I'm not the bad guy. I'm the guy who tells you what it is and how it is and the way it is, and I don't have any filter, and that's what it is. If you don't like the fact that I hate Poor Things, get over it. Because what I bring to the space is a lot more than these whiny-ass shill people that only care about getting into the next movie and getting their name quoted in a press, in a trailer. That's all they care about. I'm not that guy, yet I'm the bad guy. I'm the guy. Weber's the jerk. You guys, get your priorities right. I'm not. I am the hero. Some of you might you need to accept that. I'm the freaking hero in this space. I am not the enemy. I'm not the bad guy. I'm the hero. Right? Give me a thumbs up. Thank you. I didn't see it. I didn't I didn't see the May December. I'll watch it. Maybe I'll watch it this weekend because I only have one movie to see at AMC. It's Monster, which is Correda, which is the Shoplifters. I always bring up Shoplifters. I love that film. Not as much a fan as Broker, but just of his recent films, and also the English language one was okay. It wasn't great, but I will see Monster. But the thing is, like I said, everything's in a theater. So if May December was at AMC, I would already seen it. If Maestro was at AMC, I'd already see it. That I don't know. Oh, we got trouble. People are like, it's terrible. Oh my God. You know why I'm going to watch May December? Because it's so polarizing. You got one person saying she should win a Razzie and the other person saying it's great. My friend Paul thinks it's terrible. Then someone else says May December is amazing. I've got to watch the film. Here's my fear with the film. Knowing Todd Haynes. Todd Haynes is not the right filmmaker for that film, what he's trying to do. What I'm being told that film is kind of like a camp kind of thing. Weird. He's doing some kind of, almost like it almost feels like it should be an Adam McKay movie, right? From what I'm picturing. And so Todd Haynes matted to that film doesn't sound like the right director with film. We talked about the Iron Claw. Why is the Iron Claw strong? Because it's a very good meshing of director Sean Durkin to film Iron Claw. In Wonka's case, going back to Wonka from the top of the show, it's a good mesh of director and Paul King to the actual film. The problem is you didn't get Wonka right. You got Timothée Chalamet. You see, that's very important. The director is everything to a film, and that is never going to be up for debate. The director's the number one most important person to a film, and I'm going to watch May December over the next few days, so we'll talk about it Sunday. We'll talk about May December, maybe Maestro. I'll probably watch May December tomorrow night. It's just, again, when they're not at the theaters, it's very hard for me to get excited to watch a movie here at home. I don't want to. I get antsy. I get on my phone. I go and organize my jerseys. You know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as a movie gets boring, you check out. When I'm in the movie theater, like even Wonka, I sat there and I leaned over on the other seat and I was just like, oh my God. But I was at the movie theater. I didn't pull my phone out, even though I was told by my boy Strange Harbors, the dweeb of all dweebs, oh, he's taking pictures in a movie, which is not what happened at all. It didn't happen. It happened during the credits, just like it did tonight. Oh, he's terrible. He's a terrible person. Why don't you actually try to contribute to the space, Strange Harbors, rather than being a little cinephilic shill bitch? All right, that's it. I said I wasn't going to do it. And I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it again. I'm tired. I'm not going to do it again. Guys, you've been amazing, as always. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for being here on this Thursday night. We haven't had a Thursday in a few weeks because we have had nothing. We'll probably have a Thursday next week because we have 3 films openings. Of course, we'll have one. Sunday night, we'll be back. Here's what I want you to do. In the comments on this video, will you come in with comments and say, what do you want to talk about on Sunday? Sometimes on Sunday night, I'm not doing as much box office because we do the Breaking Box Office show. So I don't do as much box office on Sunday night. So I need other topics. And unless I'll have May December to watch, we can talk about maybe Maestro 2. But I need some topics. I will back down from no topic. I will go after it. You need to tell me what it is, and we'll deep dive on it. I'm not afraid. I don't care who it is. We'll call them out. That's never going to be an issue here. And I would expect someone else to call me out. Go for it. I don't have a problem with that, as long as it's fair. Not, he took a picture in the middle of the movie, which didn't happen. So don't bullshit. Make it real. Okay? Make sure it's grounded in truth. Isn't that hard to find these days, right? No, we just make shit up and pass it as journalism. Oh, God, don't get me started. All right, guys, live from LA. A pleasure as always. I will see you back here Sunday for the Breaking Box Office show in the morning, and then at night for the Sunday Evening Spectacular. Your thoughts, what you want to see on the show. I'm open to that on Sunday night. Leave them in the comments here on this one. I'll see you back here Sunday night. Peace out. Live from LA. See you next time.